I moved to California at the age of 11, and when I moved here from India, I really was feeling disconnected from home. However, being in California almost made it seem very similar because at least the weather was similar. And now when I work as a professional artist, bringing heritage in and bringing the past in to the current work is very gratifying because I'm able to connect to things that are not noticed anymore. Sometimes they're forgotten. And I feel that heritage is something that's pushed aside as something only those who are historians or those who are experts in what the past is about should engage in. But I feel that everyone has a very specific heritage, whether it's family history, whether it's community history, that's significant. And me as an artist, through my paintings and calligraphy, I want to explore that heritage. Now, the unique practice I get to be a part of is that I not only have to find ways to engage the heritage that I left behind in Punjab, but how I've carried that forward as an immigrant and how I relate to it now when I'm very much claiming my American identity and pursuing my craft in a very individualistic way, which is much more Western than what Indian miniature painting used to be. I think growing up, I've always experienced that women, specifically in the South Asian culture and even in Sikh Punjabi community, are encouraged to really take on the Sikh identity and also, be experts in Punjabi culture and being able to express those identities and express that culture in very beautiful ways. However, I've not necessarily seen or heard as much that women are encouraged to express their ambitious sentiments or what is a career that they really want to work hard at. So for me as an artist, I've tried to stress that through my work, especially when I'm imagining that I'm talking to other young women who are going to be artists when I've moved on from the space, that they're going to come into this space as well. I'm very passionate about encouraging those women to not only think about their religious identity, think about their identity in terms of community, in terms of their gender, but apart from all of that, just think about what impact you want to make in the world and what are you really good at and how are you going to make that impact. For me, I think I work hard at making myself a better artist, but that's how I want to make that impact. And if I can do it when somebody sees, okay, that's a woman making that impact, then for me that's very, very significant. I feel women are also in a position where they can assert themselves by not only embodying those traditional roles that they choose to embody, but also take on these roles that now need to be talked about and depicted in paintings also. So, for example, in the miniature painting world, a lot of paintings depict women doing, whether it's chores like cleaning or cooking or engaging in daily regimen, like whether the woman's bathing or waiting for a lover or sitting down with her friends. And I think these are also parts of what a woman does, but other things like, a painter burnishing, like one of my paintings, or a chemist experimenting, or a scientist, running a experiment in her studio, in her lab, or even a lawyer. Any of these roles should be depicted in painting forms that are traditional because there is a impact we are going to make at the generation who looks at this and is going to associate this with, even the South Asian community or Sikh Punjabi community. They want to be able to see themselves somewhere. And if they see me talking about these paintings, they can see, oh, I can be an artist and I can talk about these things or anything that's significant to them. But they also need to be able to see that when they do these tasks, when they are a painter, when they are a lawyer, when they are a doctor, they're important enough to be painted as well. For the Sikh community living here in Toronto and also I think in Canada, there's a very rich history that the Sikhs have had in this country. And I think the way I approach my work in terms of approaching historical events and things that have been of historical significance, which is, it could be individuals, it could be conflicts that have taken place, struggles that have taken place. I think those struggles and those conflicts are not just unique to the homeland, as we say it, But those conflicts and struggles have taken place as the community has moved to other places around the world. And in Canada itself, there is a significant history of that struggle. And my work, I feel, introduces a way for people to engage with that history. I'm hoping that many people who live here who belong to the Sikh Punjabi community want to do that. And if I can show them a way that this is one way of doing that, and it's one way of approaching that history that you might want to interact with, but you just haven't found the way to do it. But I do also think that when they come and look at my work, they maybe can find a piece of that struggle and conflict, because I have developed my work looking at histories and researching them to incorporate those characters, those conflicts, those events that have changed and defined the community over these last years. I'm Rupy C Tut. I'm a miniature painter and calligrapher.